3-Point Shot, Chapter 17. Kaede took a breath and thought it over one more time. It could be nothing. Honestly, I want it to be nothing, but it doesn't add up. What you said doesn't match up with everything else you've told us. Earlier, when everyone else was talking about having seen their motive videos, Kaede explained, there was one thing that didn't make sense.
And what's that?
Miyu asked. Someone said their video was the same as they remembered it, but that can't be true, Kaede continued. Because up until now, they were adamant about not watching their video. The blonde pointed out her prime suspect. You're the only one! Chabashira-san, what did you mean by that earlier? Eh? Tenko exclaimed. What are you talking about? It was just a slip of the tongue! I want to think that, Kaede replied. I really do, but it felt too calculated, like you wanted to make sure you didn't screw up. Hold on a second, Kibo interrupted. Chabashira-san has been clear that she wanted to avoid watching the videos as you claim. As such, we have no reason to suspect that she has gone back on her word now. But if that were the case, she could have easily said she still hadn't watched it, Shuichi countered. You should know that, Kibo-kun, because you said you still haven't watched yours. Well, I suppose, but... Tenko does not have to stand for this! Tenko is not the one responsible for that degenerate male's death! The Aikido practitioner proclaimed. That seems weird to me too, Kaede thought out loud. What does? The black-haired girl questioned. You're still calling Shinguji-kun a degenerate male. I just find it a bit odd that you would say that about someone who's dead, the pianist explained. Is it wrong to call him what he was? Tenko shot back. Kokichi cackled. Someone's got a grudge.
And I bet she has a good reason,
Maki claimed, her eyes widening as the truth became clear. Tenko barely spoke to him, the fighter protested. What possible reason would Tenko have to hold a grudge? Assuming you are the culprit, Shuichi explained, that would mean Shinguji-kun attempted to kill you with the knife. If that were the case, it's fairly obvious you would hold some feelings of malice toward him. Whoa! Kaito cut in. This is a lot of speculation, isn't it? There's basically nothing that can prove Chabashira did it, right? God says that we can't throw around theories anymore, Angie declared. We need something more concrete now. Angie-san correct, Gonta agreed. We can be sure Chabashira-san responsible.
Personally, I find it difficult to believe.
Kurumi chimed in.
Oh, come on!
Miyu complained.
How long are we going to go in circles like this?
Chabashira as a culprit actually makes a bit of sense if you ask me,
Ryoma offered. Kaede crossed her arms in frustration. Well, now what? We're split right down the middle. Oh? What was that? The words of the long silent headmaster caused everyone to take notice. Did you just say down the middle? Then do I have a treat for you! The Ultimate Academy is proud to present its own more phenomenal trial grounds! Pa finally gets to use that! Monofani cheered. About time! Monokid shouted. We got gypped last time around! Yeah, Monosuke agreed. Let's get this show on the road, why don't we? We can start the scrum debate, Monodam announced. Scrum what? Kaede asked. Rather than answer the question, Monokuma raised a new podium and used a key to open a lock. Suddenly, the podiums the students were on raised up into the sky and into a new trial room. The room was stark white, and rather than the group being placed around in a circle, the class found themselves facing off with two panels of students lined up in a row. On one side were Kaito, Tenko, Himiko, Gonta, Angie, Kibo, and Kurumi. They were the Tenko is not the culprit team. The other held the remaining students, that is, Kaede, Shuichi, Maki, Kokichi, Ryoma, and Miyu. They were the Tenko could be the culprit team. With the opposing sides set, the scrum debate began. Kaito started it off. There's not enough proof to say Chabashira's the culprit. Maki countered him by reminding him,
But you have no proof that she's not.
culprit need to watch own video, Gonta explained. Ryoma offered the rationale of,
Anyone who hadn't watched before must have by now.
Tenko wouldn't stand for that. What reason would Tenko have to change her mind? Miyu,
You changed your mind because Liar Boy watched it. Duh.
Miyu argued. But the culprit needed to watch Korekiyo's video, Angie chimed in. Shuichi, Shinguji-kun's video was missing from his room, so someone else has it, Shuichi revealed.
Oma-kun probably kept it for himself.
Kurumi theorized. Kokichi was quick to shoot that down. If I did, then how did the culprit see the video? You would have had the freedom to show it to anyone, Kibo pointed out. I'll do it. Kaede didn't buy it. But to show it to someone, he'd have to leave his room. The two groups were at an impasse, leaving the leaders to argue. Crouch bind. There's nothing you can say or do to prove Chabashira's the culprit right now, Kaito exclaimed. Maybe I can't prove she's the culprit, Kaede agreed, but I might be able to prove that the culprit is Chabashira-san. And how do you plan to do that? Kaito challenged. If we look over what we know for sure about the culprit, we can see how well it lines up with Chabashira-san and go from there. Kaito grit his teeth and glared at Kaede. Alright, let's play this out. This is our answer! With that exchange, the debate came to an end, and the students were deposited back in their traditional trial setting. Woo! That was definitely worth the wait! Monokuma proclaimed. Hell yeah! Monokid shouted. That's the best part, easy! Kinda makes me want to go back and add him to the other trials, Monosuke admitted. The BGM's just so catchy, it's stuck in my head now, Monofani lamented. They stand together in the debate, Monodem observed. They truly get along,
Well, we have a plan now.
Miyu said.
But what do we really know about the culprit that we can tie to Shabashiri anyway?
Tenko does not care for your insults! The Aikido lover spat.
We know the killer saw Shinguji's video,
Ryoma reminded the group.
but there's no way to tell who saw it and who didn't.
Technically, we do not know that the killer saw it, Kibo argued. We do know that the culprit somehow acquired Shinguji-kun's video, Shuichi countered. That's the only explanation as to where his video disappeared to. If the culprit and Shinguji-kun wound up with each other's videos, Kaede surmised, I bet their meeting was based on the idea of trading them. That way, they could have recorded their own video and kept Shinguji-kun's for their own, Shuichi affirmed. I guess that explains why there wasn't a video in his room at all, Kaito admitted. Well, do we know anything else about the culprit? Angie wondered.
We know they disarmed Shinguji,
Maki recalled.
and in the process likely broke his arm.
And since Chabashira-san is the ultimate Aikido practitioner, Kaede began. Tenko doesn't have to listen to this! Tenko cut in. What are you? The pianist replied. Tenko paid her no heed and began to speak. You are clever, Tenko will admit, but you are forgetting something important. Rebuttal showdown, start! You believe Tenko killed that menace? You appear to have forgotten a school rule. The body discovery announcement cannot be triggered by the killer. Tenko discovered the body, so why did the announcement go off? Advance! You wouldn't have counted toward the 3, Kaede argued. But couldn't someone else have seen it? Do not insult Tenko's intelligence! No one else entered the pool building! And even if there was somewhere else to see the body, there's no one who could have been there! I'll cut your words! Tenko, caught off guard by this exclamation, found herself silenced. Chabashira-san, there's a window that overlooks the pool building, remember? Kaede asked. So? Tenko stammered out. That window is in a room on the 3rd floor. I'm not sure where, but we actually can say someone was on the 3rd floor at the time of the crime. Kaede turned to the person in question. Right, Hoshi-kun? The tennis pro took a deep breath.
Yeah, probably should have mentioned it before.
Mentioned what? Shuichi inquired.
That window is actually connected to a shower room just off of my research lab.
Ryoma revealed.
This morning, when I was there, I did peek out the window and I noticed what looked like a body in the pool. I didn't really know what to make of it, so I headed down to get a better look. Before I got there, though, the body discovery announcement went off.
Why are you only telling us this now? Kokichi wondered. Ryoma shook his head.
Well, earlier everyone was going off about the knife coming from a room no one else had been in. Didn't seem like telling everyone about the hidden shower room would be a very good idea. After that, there was never really a good moment to bring it up.
By that logic, Hoshi-kun's the real 3rd witness to the body. So, how about it, Chabashira-san? Kaede questioned. Is there anything else we haven't accounted for?